City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation. Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News, Rotorua is to get 2 new ambulance staff thanks to extra funding by St John. Art, stories, music and other such forested adventures are happening at the Redwoods on Sunday to mark Children's Day. And the Sulphur City Steamrollers are holding an information night at Waiariki on Monday. Rotorua is to get 2 new paid ambulance staff thanks to funding of around $4 million. They're from a pool of 57 additional staff St John will employ throughout the country. The move comes after a study found ambulance resources had in some areas not matched patient demand. Rotorua has 3 ambulances on the road, so the extra hands will be welcomed. The 2 additional staff will start in July. Mayor Chadwick will welcome the Cuban ambassador in a special dinner reception tomorrow night. It will top off the New Zealand Cuban Festival, which was being hosted in the city this week. Local organiser Lisa Kohinui says events at the night market and City Focus have helped raise awareness of Cuban culture. Art, stories, music and other such forested adventures are happening at the Redwoods on Sunday to mark Children's Day.
What an environment in the Redwoods, as many of us know. So we're kind of, working with nature a little bit on this one as well. It's great. It's not the bouncy castle thing. It's about children and their parents.
In sport tonight, steps towards the creation of an elite BMX facility in Rotorua are a little closer, with support in principle for the project coming from Council. Rotorua BMX committee member Melanie Short says it's going to be a 2 to 3 year process to get the idea off the ground. And Rotorua's Roller Derby Club is urging locals to join their team and take part in an exhilarating and entertaining sport. The Sulphur City Steamrollers are holding an information night at Waiariki Institute of Technology Gym on Monday night. Club founder Layla Robinson says locals will be able to watch a training session and see how the game is played. The Sulphur City Steamrollers exhibition is on Monday starting at 6 p.m. It could be a good one for you. To your weather now, and the forecast for tonight is for mainly fine weather, so that's good news. Westerlies developing, an overnight low of 8, and a reminder that every Friday you can plan your weekend activities with help from our weekend weather roundup with Met Service straight after City News. For program listings and other info, or to upload your images, check out our website. That's tvrotorua.co.nz. And remember to check out our Facebook page, and that of course is TV Rotorua. Still to come in tonight's program, we find out more about Children's Day celebrations. Kiri catches up with the Sulphur City Steamrollers, and we meet 2 women taking part in this weekend's Ironman event for the very first time.
Well, for the last 7 years, there's been free music concerts here at the Rotunda in the Government Gardens. Now, we're going to catch up with Mike Spikerbos today. He's from the council. And then we're also going to have a quick chat about Children's Day, which is also coming up on Sunday. So stay listening, we've got a good story. Hey, Mark, good to see you again. Always nice to catch up with you.
G'day.
Now, it's actually been a year since we first caught up about the music that's been played at the Rotunda. That's a whole year ago, and that's when you first started, wasn't it?
That's right. Gee, that was a quick year. What happened?
Yeah. Well, obviously, we just... the first concert was on this Sunday past. How'd it go? Absolutely brilliant. There would have been well over 100 people here. The weather was magnificent. We always put the weather on. And the feedback has been awesome from the musicians and from some of the people that attended. Yeah, 100 people, you got to be happy with that. Oh, absolutely. And there were people sitting here at 12 p.m, an hour before the concert started, just to get that front seat and, and a shady spot too, because, this time of year it doesn't take long before you heat up pretty quickly, so it's nice we've got some shade here, and what a lovely setting, really is. What sort of crowd was here? Was it an older crowd, or was it mainly families? I guess you would say a slightly older crowd, but there were families as well.
The Rotunda series has quite an eclectic collection of musicians, if you like. So, there's something for everybody. Like this weekend, for example, is the Nostalgia Band. So I'm expecting, an older audience enjoying some of the classics from yesteryear. Yeah.
Now, how long's the series running for, Mark?
We've got 6 weeks again, and the musicians from last year have actually put their hand up to come back on board this year. Such as the enjoyment factor. Yeah.
Now you mentioned people are down here at 12, an hour before it starts. How long does the actual concert run for?
Well, about an hour and a half. Sometimes it'll roll over. It kind of depends. This is an organic thing as well. We don't turn off the switch at 2:30, 3. So you can expect to be entertained for an hour and a half easily. Yeah.
Now Nostalgia is playing this Sunday.
That's right.
And there's 4 weeks to go. So who's in for the next lineup?
Well, we've got Evelyn Falconer coming back, which is brilliant. She's a wonderful entertainer, a wonderful voice. She'll be the following weekend. We've got Thermalalis, Julie Parsons and her acoustic ukulele band. Fantastic sound.
That's a great name too, isn't it?
Thermalalis is absolutely brilliant. So they've really, making inroads, making names for themselves. So don't miss that if you wanted something, with character and a bit of difference. We've got the symphonic band and the pipe band, the Rotorua Highland Pipe Band. And our last concert this year, we've got the blues. We've got the Blues Club, the Bay Plenty Blues Club, and the Sunrise Rockers. So that I'm expecting a younger crowd for that final.
So that genre is very eclectic, like you said.
Yeah, well, it's tailored to so that everybody can participate. That really is it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, if people get down here just before it starts, they need to bring some lunch and maybe sunscreen, obviously. Sunscreen's
a good idea, and in the past we've said bring a rug, but it seems to be that a deck chair is probably more comfortable for that amount of time, and do get here a little earlier because there's only so much shade, and well, actually the weather this weekend looks spot on.
Yeah.
We've ordered a little cloud for the occasion, so we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Now, also coming up this weekend is Celebrate Children's Day, or Treasure Our Children. Now, I've caught up with Julianne Wilkinson from out at the Redwoods,
yep.
And they've got a whole lot of activities going on that day. Now, you're involved in that as well.
Absolutely, just like last year. Help get the systems in place, working very closely with Julianne and our main contractor, Jill Walker of the Travelling Tuataras, who's a famous identity in our community. So, they'll be working together with musicians, and they've got the Taiko drumming group, which would be cool. They've got visiting storytellers, and it promises actually to be quite an interesting, fun day, colourful day, if you like, in the Redwoods. Yeah, it's a beautiful environment.
Good day for kids to get involved with, the parents getting involved with their kids.
That's what happened last year, we noticed. It was a real chance for families to connect, and what an environment in the Redwoods, as many of us know. So we kind of, working with nature a little bit on this one as well. It's great. It's not the bouncy castle thing. It's about children and their parents.
Yeah. Well, looking at the big picture, Mark, obviously looking after our kids, because I talked about this with Julianne, they are our future. We really need to look after the kids as they're growing up. So, and you've got kids too as well, so you can appreciate what, obviously because you're involved in so many different levels.
Oh, absolutely. Children are our future. They're our treasure. And it's such a warming day, for the soul to see all these littlies having so much fun. And wide opened and excited. It's pretty infectious, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the other good thing is also that they're celebrating children all through the country. So it's just not like a one-off here in Rotorua. It's actually a national day.
National Children's Day every year, right there. Yep. And I believe there's a Children's Week later in the year too. So this is great.
It's a bit of a build-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Something for our littlies. So. It's going to be a fun day. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so you're going to be heading out with your kids?
Definitely, although my kids are a little older now, so they probably won't be into the little dance routines and things. But no, it sort of takes me back a little bit too. Having the little ones around and so much excitement. It's really, as I say, a warming day. Good for the soul, and good for the kids too.
Yeah. Now people need to meet at the Redwood Cafe and then head under to the big canopy, don't they? So what time should they meet there?
Well, I believe that we're kicking off at 1:30, so if we could get there a little earlier, that'd be cool. And head up, the Visitors Information Centre, just to the right. The roadway goes up to a place they call the Sails, and there's lots of activities all around that covered area. So,
it's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a great day.
Awesome, cheers, Mark.
Okay, cool.
Well, I feel totally overdressed for this. You know, I feel like Posh Spice here, sitting next to Sporty Spices. And these girls are pretty tough. They are the rollerblade girls from Rotorua. This is Layla Robinson. What's your official name?
Cold Blooded is my roller derby pseudonym.
Whoa, cold-blooded. Yeah, okay.
Slightly.
Just slightly. Now tell me the name of your group.
We are the Sulphur City Steamrollers, and we're Rotorua's Roller Derby League. Under our league banner falls our team, which is Motley Crue. So our first team has a glam rock / hair metal theme, which is really fun because roller derby is not just a sport; it's a little bit theatrical as well. So it's amazing to watch.
Oh, I can imagine. And you guys, you look fantastic. And you obviously all really get into it. Why have you started it up? Because you started it up a few years ago now.
Yeah.
It's obviously gone from strength to strength. Why did you start it in the first place?
I'd seen other leagues in the country had started up, and obviously I'd watched the movie Whip It in 2004 when it was released, and it really gets you hooked. Completely unrealistic because you don't train for 2 weeks and end up in the top team in the United States, but it takes a little longer than that. But I just really like the scene. I'm not a big sports person actually, but I like the theatrics of roller derby. I like that it was a women's sport. I like that all the women were alternative in some way. Tattoos, no tattoos, coloured hair, not coloured hair, nerds. You know, I'm a nerd, total geeks, you know, and everyone just kind of fits in. It's an all-inclusive sport. And I'm not an athlete, never have been, but I'm really determined, and that's why as a non-athlete I can play this sport. Anyone can play this sport as long as they've got some courage and determination.
And you do need courage because, you know, I have watched a bit of roller derby in my time and it looks a bit rough. There's the old elbows going into the sister coming past you and, you know, you're pushing her over. So how violent is it?
We kind of call it rugby on skates because that gives Kiwis a little bit of an insight into it. The elbows thing, if somebody did that, they'd get penalised by one of the many refs that is on the track and they'd get sent off the track. So we do follow quite a big rule book, and we have certain ways that we're allowed to hit people, certain contact zones.
Certain ways you're allowed to hit people. That's tough, that is.
When I say hit, I don't mean punch. We can knock each other with our shoulders or our hips, but certainly if we were to clothesline somebody, we'd get sent off for the game. It's not quite like that anymore.
It's not the WWF.
No, it used to be quite theatrical like that, like wrestling in the 1970s. No gear, none of this protective stuff, which we wear the whole kit when we're playing. But yeah, nowadays it's quite disciplined. There's a league that governs basically the whole world, an organisation, that governs the whole world and come up with the rules. There's a World Cup. New Zealand played in the last World Cup in 2011. We're playing again this year. We've got an amazing team. It's really taken off, and it's the fastest growing women's sport in the world, and certainly in New Zealand it's gaining in popularity, and we're getting new members all the time.
That's awesome, and I was actually just going to ask about that. In terms of your membership, are you looking for new members, and if you are, how do they get in touch?
Yeah, we're definitely looking for new members. We do maybe 2 or 3 intakes a year. So the course is about 14 weeks. So in that time we teach them how to fall, how to skate well. We teach them the rules, and then they pass a skills test, and then they're able to scrimmage train with us. So coming up soon, actually, we're doing a fresh meat intake. The first couple of nights is just an intro, get people on skates, see how they feel. You sort of think, oh, I can't wait to get back on skates. You know, a lot of people hadn't skated since they were 5 years old, and some of them are naturally talented and absolutely brilliant. So we have an email address which is sc.steamrollers@gmail.com, but we're all over Facebook all of the time, so just look us up, Sulphur City Steamrollers on Facebook, and we'll get you involved.
I know there'll probably be some men that would love to join the group, but it's only ladies, isn't it?
Well, men can join the group as referees, so
okay, we're going to get an influx now of men offering to referee.
Men or women can ref, but in the country probably 80% of the referees are men. There are some amazing male skaters out there, and we really need more refs in Rotorua, so I'm glad you brought that up. So we have a head ref, and her name is Scorpio, and she will be welcoming new refs with open arms. So I just want to say that don't count yourself out. If you've heard about it and you've got a little bit of interest in it, just come along and check us out at our open day. You'll find information on our Facebook page about that, and just see how you can get involved. You actually don't even need skates to get involved if you wanted to be a non-skate official. Those people help us with all kinds of things during a bout. They help us fundraise. They're an amazing support for us. So anyway, just come and...
Awesome. And if you just want to come along and look at you...
Well, yeah, that's an option too.
You can do that too.
Look at those guys, yeah.
Look at those guys. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Good luck for your next game. And it's been a pleasure. So much fun. Great energy. Kia ora.
The 30th Ironman is on this weekend with hundreds taking part to celebrate the anniversary. Alan Solomon met with 2 locals taking part for the first time this year.
Hi Mel and Terry, appreciate your time today. What's the inspiration for you guys for getting into Iron Māori?
Well, for myself, it's my family. I've got 2 young kids, and just kind of if I'm doing something like this in Iron Māori, which is a lifestyle change, being healthier, then it will follow on. So your kids will see that, oh yeah, mum's out there doing this. Yeah. She wants to be healthy. She's eating good kai, so good kai must be good for us. So family is such a big thing, and there's lots of people in my whānau who have done the Iron Māori. From like my auntie's husband, who's a really big guy, he's done 2 half Ironmans, and he's not the type of person who you think that guy can't do a half Ironman, but he is, and we are the type of people who can do this.
So it's all about being a positive role model.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, definitely.
How about you, Mel?
I'm the same as Terry. I've got 5 kids, 3 big ones, and so I want to show the big ones that you can set a challenge and step up to the plate. You just dedicate some time to it and write it down what you're going to do and work towards doing that and achieving that goal. And teaching in school, it's just a good role model for kids.
It's pretty honourable to do that for your kids. Have you noticed any changes in their behaviour, especially their eating patterns or eating behaviour?
Mine have been good anyway because we always have that kind of kai in the house, a lot of pasta, a lot of fruit and veggies, and I've become more conscious with the eating, and so to the point of having like bulgur wheat and quinoa and things like that, and the kids with the rolled oats, and my little ones have got right onto it, and the big ones are pretty excited about mum going out to do this stuff.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
now you guys just competed in the last modern Iron Māori in December. How'd you go?
I did well. It was my second time, so I had an improvement on my time from the first time I went in to do it, so I was happy with that. I wanted to do better than I did, but I was happy with how I went. So, yep.
So last year I did a team event. I did the bike league, and that was really good.
I loved it.
I did it with my auntie Ria, who's also doing the Ironman with us. But yeah, really, really loved it. Such an awesome day.
She smashed her time on the bike.
But it was good. No, I did well. It was
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've graduated yourselves from doing Iron Māori to the Ironman, which are huge distances, aren't they? So when does that happen?
Saturday the 1st of March.
Yeah.
So it's not far away?
Not far away
at all.
Yeah. Are you guys excited? Because I know too, because I've done a few triathlons myself, there's a lot of preparation, there's lots of things you need to do, especially mentally. Mm-hmm. So what sort of challenges have you guys had to overcome to come over those blocks?
Planning, time management's been huge, so fitting in all the training and with the family and in with work. So, on some of our long days, we've got 7-8 hours in one day for training, a 6.5 hour bike ride, and straight off the bike you're off for an hour run. So it's just time, it's the dedication of the time you've got to put in and the sacrifices that the family have to make. It's all of us, I think, have learnt to love early mornings. Some mornings I'm up at 4 o'clock, so I can be out the door by 5 or 4:30 if I'm going for a long ride, so I don't cut into too much of the family day.
Now I know supplements and training gear and equipment, all that sort of stuff isn't cheap, but have you guys got a sponsor?
Well, I've been lucky enough to been offered an ambassadorship from Specialised New Zealand.
Wow.
So the local shop Cycle Zone approached me asking if I wanted to have this.
They approached you?
Yeah. I'm really lucky to be sponsored by Cycle Zone, and as well as have Specialised back me as well, which is top bike brand, and Yeah, really, really good.
I don't have a sponsor, but in saying that, Ellen, I don't think, like I've done it really on a shoestring budget, and it just goes to show that with support from people you can make things happen.
Now before we go, there may be someone sitting at home who's thinking about getting into triathlons or Iron Māori or whatever. Have you got a piece of advice, just to help them get that step closer?
Just get out there and do it. Write a goal, set a goal, what your goal might be. Start off small, might be the quarter Iron Māori, and just step yourself up and it will just grow. Once you start training and you set those goals that you have to get up and do it, if you get out of bed and step out the door, that's half the battle won. Yeah, I came from pretty much a non-swimmer last year, and now
swimming
4Ks across the Blue Lake twice, there and back, and it just happens because you just got to get out and do it.
Well, you guys are very inspirational, and we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we wish all the competitors in the Ironman all the very best, and hopefully a few PBs as well. Don't forget, if you'd like to see the show once again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz, and to call the channel you can talk to one of our team on 07 34 88 984. Thanks for watching and having us at your place for Muddy.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.